Hey everyone, I thought I'd make a really quick video kind of building on the idea that I shared last one. I look a lot at the historical behavior of XRP, and I thought I'd draw a little bit more of an advanced kind of conclusion of what I suspect could happen. Obviously, no two kind of patterns are going to be identical, but I do see a lot of similarities, enough to warrant at least some analysis, some side-by-side analysis of what essentially is, this cycle and this cycle. Okay. Specifically, and I had circled this in the last session, but really, kind of this area. And actually, I might kind of move that over just a little bit to catch some of the downtrend. And this area, I'm drawing another one of those, kind of like to here. Now, obviously, it's not going to be precise, but I see enough similarity that warrants making this video. Okay, so to kind of rewind, obviously we have this big boom just after the resistance was broken, it went. We have this big boom. It took a little while, depending on where you draw that resistance. If you stretch it out the entire way over this, then it holds true. If you draw it in like this, then that holds true as well. And then you have the die-off, which happened in both categories. It happened a little bit more here than it did here. Yet, again, it's not going to be identical. So how do we take this and say, okay, what happens next? I think we can make some conclusions on what happened from this period, which is basically the mid-September period, until December, and apply that to this period. Now, obviously, this is larger and more drawn out than this one is. The boom was bigger. This was, I think I calculated from the bottom, which I calculate right here, the most recent low, to the peak 16.5x growth, whereas this was 14x growth, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, what we see is the die-off happen here. We see several touches. Well, do we? I mean, we see a few touches on one, that's pretty close, and 1, 2, 3 on the blue line. And then we see a similar behavior right here. Now, what really kind of hits me is the pattern of all-time low of the cycle, conceivably the all-time low of the cycle right here, which actually aligns with that blue line pretty closely. A big boom right here, a rapid sort of parabolic move that's testing the bears, okay? Same thing happens here. Then you see a sell-off happen, and then you have the bullish response, which I believe we're seeing the beginning of right now. Okay, now it's been a little bit of a down day, but there's been overall, some pretty good days in a row. Now, granted, there was some volatility in here with this red candle, but hey, the day's not over. We got a little ways to go. And we're also making a push here. We saw an oversold position on the daily. We've also seen at least one, if you look at, what is this, RSI, or MACD. You see more of a bullish indication right here, and we'll see how today ends up. Anyway, what I did was this is a pretty distinct line of support right here, which eventually is broken because it wasn't time to make that move. However, this is the lowest low of the cycle. And one might conclude as well that this could be the lowest low of the cycle from this move forward, right? So if we're going to anticipate what might happen, I suspect that we will probably, if it does make a similar move, then we could see, okay, a retracement that leads us back to that same high. In this case, it's 29 and change, almost 30 cents. In this case, it will likely be 76 cents, okay? So let's draw a target in there. This is longer than I thought it would be. Sorry. Um, so I believe we will see this point met if it's following that same pattern. That will well break that red level of resistance in the same way it did here. There will likely be another dip. Okay, so if that's returning to kind of like say the median point of this cycle, I think we could see a return to about 40 cents after that. So a push to 70 cents, a return to 40 cents, and then, really the best buying moment would be, and this is daily, whenever there's an oversold position following that. And obviously this was the last opportunity that somebody had before the rocket ship took off right here. Okay. So, man, I hate to be the boy that cried wolf so many times, but I've been looking for a bullish move for a little while, and I think this is very interesting. Um, So, how would you trade this? Well, if you got in where I said before, well done. If you have not, then what I would probably do is wait for, an oversold position. Now might be it, actually. I mean, if you look at the 15 minutes, okay, we were on an oversold position right here, and some others in here. You might want to wait for the hourly, actually. Let's take a look at that. We're pretty close to it. It's not a bad call to get in while this is sort of in the midst of potentially breaking out. I don't know if it's going to follow this or if my crazy theory is true of kind of following, you know, this pink line. If it's based on previous um, previous activity, maybe this will be that line. Who knows? I'm not really sure. At any rate, good luck, and I hope to hear some comments and see what your thoughts are.